What's up, guys? Welcome back to That Chick Angel TV. It's me, Angel, and today I want to give you all some tips and some tricks to traveling to Cuba. If you're from the United States, it is going to be a little bit harder to travel there once our presidential administration's changes take effect. However, it still will be possible to travel, so I wanted to give you all some little keys to making your trip to Cuba a good trip. First, if you're traveling to Cuba, you should be fluent in Spanish. Yep. If you don't know Spanish, keep your butt at home, okay? Or take somebody with you that knows how to speak Spanish. Dora the Explorer, whoever you know. Because the people in Cuba, most of them speak Spanish. And because it's not really big on tourism as much as other countries are, even people who work at hotels, a lot of them don't speak English, so you'll be struggling. So if you go to places where it's not a lot of tourists, it's just going to be y'all looking at each other confused. So if no hablas inglés, stay in your casa. Tip number 2, if you're the type of girl that loves wearing makeup every day and flossing and beating her face, and you're going to Cuba in the summer, don't go. Nope, because that Cuban sun and that humidity is going to wipe off all of that makeup like it's a Neutrogena makeup remover, and then slather your face in baby oil, because you're going to be oily and you're going to be greasy, and the makeup is going to be down in your bosom because it's going to melt off your face and go right into your breast. It was pointless. I brought this huge bag of makeup. I wore none of it. I didn't even put on lip gloss. That's how greasy my face would get. I would just let my face grease get onto my lips, and then my lips were shiny. Tip number 3, if you're the type that likes to stunt in tall heels, and you know I have a tall husband, so I can get me some stilettos, okay? You might as well wear them on your wrist, okay? Because you're not going to be able to walk on the Cuban sidewalks. They're paved with gravel. They do have some paved sidewalks, but then all of a sudden you're going to be met with a goddamn crack in the ground, and then you're going to what? Twist your ankle. Granted, you get Cuban insurance with your plane ticket, so you could go to the hospital and get all of that fixed, but why even bother? Make sure you wear flats, and only bring flats. And I'm not talking about these cute little sandals. I wore these, and these broke the first day. You see this? These little cute little rhinestone sandals were no match to the Havana terrain, all right? You need to wear those type of flats that you see old white lesbian women wear. You know, the type of sandals that look like you can go hiking in them. You can play football in the, you know what I'm saying? You could play soccer in the type of sandals that I'm talking about. Don't you come over there with no little flip-flops. Get some good, strong sandals. The type of sandals that the disciples wore when they walked across the deserts in the New Testament. That's what I'm saying. Tip number 4, stay at an Airbnb. You're going to want to be able to have somebody that you can turn to help you navigate where you should go in Cuba. What are the hot spots? What are the great restaurants? Now, mind you, the Airbnbs aren't luxurious. So if you want luxury, then you should probably stay in a hotel in Cancun. Okay, just don't do Cuba then. Like, if you need luxury, if you need top of the line, Cuba is not where you need to go. All right, go somewhere else. Stay at home. Tip number 5. Now, Cuba has a very distinct menu. You'll usually find cheese, chicken, ham, and rice. And surprisingly enough, they're not good at cooking either one of those. Okay, look, in all seriousness, my husband and I, we really did not enjoy the food in Cuba. Now, it's possible that we didn't go to some of the best restaurants. I'm sure we didn't. So I suggest you research what restaurants get really good reviews from tourists. It just felt like they never really did enough to enhance the flavors of the food they were cooking. It was pretty bland or salty instead of there being a lot of different flavors. So just research it, and hopefully you'll turn out better than what we did. Tip number 6, which I shouldn't even have to say, but I will. Try to avoid the policia, okay? So what I mean by that is, don't do any illegal activity. The last thing you want to do is be stuck in a jail in a country where you don't speak the language and that you're not native of. So try not to buy any illegal goods. If someone says they have a deal for you in the street, if they ain't in a store where there are price tags, do not buy it, okay? We got caught up and we don't know. We might have bought some illegal cigars. We're not sure, okay? But all we know is we didn't do it on purpose, and we're just glad to be back home. Tip number 7 is money, 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 money. you are going to want to know their money system. So for instance, if you're coming from the United States, what you're going to want to do is switch your money over to euros before you leave the US. This is because the US dollar is taxed at a higher conversion rate when you're in Cuba, where the euros, you get more Cuban money when you actually convert over. So after you take your euros that you converted and you're in Cuba and you convert your money over to Cuban money, you'll get more Cuban money. And the money that you'll get is called CUC, C-U-C, Cuban convertibles or pesos convertibles. This is the money that tourists or non-Cubans get. Now, the thing about Cuba is that they have two different currencies. They have the CUC and then they have the CUP. CUP is only used by people who are actually Cuban and are Cuban citizens. CUC is only used by people who are visitors. Now, the big problem is that one CUC is worth 24 CUP. So people who aren't all that nice and trustworthy, when they're giving you change, they'll try to give you CUP and change instead of CUC. So you're thinking, oh yeah, I just need $1 change. Well, if they give you $1 from CUP when you're supposed to be getting CUC, you're going to be getting gypped, okay? It's very confusing. Just freaking know the money, okay? And make sure you bring all the money that you're going to need for the trip, because you are not going to be able to go no ATM. You ain't going to be able to use no credit card, honey. It is not popping over there like that. So either you have some money or you're going to be doing tricks to be able to pay for your food, okay? And it's going to be food that you don't even like. I'm just saying. And you ain't going to be able to wear your stilettos to be doing tricks because you're going to fall. Tip number 8, make sure you research your airlines and find out who has the cheapest visa. What I mean by that is when you go to Cuba, you just don't get to go there with your passport. You have to purchase a visa to actually get into Cuba. We bought our tickets on Alaskan Airlines because they had the cheapest ticket. However, I didn't realize this. They had the most expensive visa. I didn't even know I had to have a visa until right before we were getting ready to travel. While airlines like Delta Airlines, they sell their visa for only $50 and you get it right at the gate. We had to spend $100 for each of our visas, and you have to have the visa to get into Cuba, and you have to keep the visa on you at all times in order to make sure they know that you are supposed to be there, okay? So I didn't do my due diligence, so let me just tell you ahead of time, do your due diligence, because you're not just paying for a ticket to fly there, but you're also going to have to pay for a visa. And tip number 9, if you decide to go to Cuba, don't go there just for rest and relaxation, because I have to say it probably wasn't the best place for that. But what it is a great place for is for learning about a different culture, for really experiencing something outside of the norm for yourself. For me as an American, it was really nice to actually get to know Cuban people, to get to hear some of the history from their mouth and not what was being fed to me by our media or by my teachers in high school. But being able to actually hear from them what they thought about the revolution, what they thought about Fidel Castro, what they think about the future of Cuba, was all very enlightening. And also to be able to see their architecture. They had some beautiful, colorful buildings, while they also have a lot of buildings that are dilapidated, that really need a lot of cosmetic work and reconstruction work. Some of them just need to be tore down. But it was nice to hear why all that was happening and what all is going on in that country. So while Cuba might not be the best place to relax and just kiki by the beach and drink mimosas and smoke cigars, it was a great place for us to really learn about another culture and to really see it through their eyes. Yeah, did we have some cigars and some mojitos? Yes, we did. But more than that, we really did learn a lot about the culture and a lot about the people and gather a better appreciation of Cuban culture. All right, guys, if you have any questions about our trip to Cuba, if you're about to plan a trip and you have anything that you want to ask us, especially about apps that might help you or places that you should go eat or dance, because I do have a list now. I just didn't use it when I was there. Ask me in the link below, and make sure you check out our vlogs where we actually take you on our journey through Cuba, and you'll get a little more of our perspective of what happened. Make sure you like and share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and you can check me out on all the other social media platforms such as Instagram at That Chick Angel, Facebook at That Chick Angel, Twitter at Angel the Actress, and Snapchat at Angel the Actress. All right, guys, you all be blessed. Adios.